Hey everyone, we're going to make these cool game spinners. They can be used for games or to randomize anything. Follow along. All right, for this spinner, you're going to need some cardboard. Cardboard has those squiggly lines in it. You will also need some cardstock. Cardstock is what boxes and packaging are made out of. It doesn't have those squiggly line like the cardboard. You're going to need some pieces of that. You will also need a thumbtack. Thumbtacks are dangerous, so make sure that you keep them in a safe place, because if you step on them, they will hurt. You'll also need something to trace a circle. I can trace that side or that side. I can also use a bowl. You will also need something to trace the circle with. Finally, make sure you have a good sharp pair of scissors. All right, let's go ahead and trace a circle. Get the cardstock and open it up and find an open space. I can't use where the creases are. That's not going to work. So I need to make sure that my circle that I'm tracing is smaller than the area, so this bowl won't work. This cup will probably work. Do you see how it's clear of all those folds? Next, I'm going to take my pencil or pen and hold this down. And do you see how my pen is angled? If I bring my pen away like this, it's not a good line. Do you see how far away that is? So it's important when you're tracing to angle the pen towards the middle of your circle all the time. You might have to switch directions and move your pencil or pen around. There we go. Okay, next we're going to find the middle of the circle. To find the middle of a circle, you're going to need something with a perfect corner, or a 90-degree corner, or a right angle. I'm just going to use this piece of paper. You will also need a pen. First, I'm going to take the corner of my right angle and make sure it's right on the edge there. Right there. Then I will draw a small line there on that edge. Next, without moving it, I will draw a small line here. Now I will connect those two lines. Now you don't have to use a ruler, you just have to use something that's straight. Great. Now I will turn this a little bit and do the same thing. Make sure the corner is right at the edge of the circle. Small mark there and a small mark here. Now I will draw a line between those two marks. There's the center of your circle. Now, if you're cutting, I find it helpful to cut out a rough shape around the circle and then go a little slower and make a perfect cut. So I'm just going to do a rough cut here. That's a lot easier to work with. Sometimes if this gets in the way, I can just cut it off like that. It's getting easier to work with now. When cutting a circle, I like to have one hand curve the paper or cardstock and the scissors are staying in the same spot. Like that. Take the thumbtack and push down onto something that won't damage the table. Right now I'm using the cutting board. Find the center. I've got my center. Now the thumbtack needs to go into something. I can tell when I bring the thumbtack close to the cardboard that it's too long, so I might need to cut 3 layers of cardboard. I'm going to start by cutting this in half. Now I'll test my spinner. That's looking okay, but I can still feel a pokey edge. I'm going to get some more cardboard and put it underneath here. Great, I got another piece of cardboard. Maybe I'll tape this or glue it on to the stack there. Now I can start designing my options on my spinner. You can also make a double-sided one. Okay, cool. So I made my spinner. I have my tack. And I also made this pretty cool little arrow. And I made it 3D by adding a Z shape or a zigzag in there. And I just glued it on there. I'm going to start by taking the tack and poking it through the hole in the center. Make sure not to poke your own finger. I'm going to position it so it doesn't interfere or hit this part. Great. That's looking pretty good. There you go. There's the spinner.